Good morning, everyone. I'm Jada Williams, a member of your parish committee. We are glad you are here, whether online or in person, on this soon-to-be sunny Mother's Day. Right? For our visitors, we're happy you've come, and we invite you to join us downstairs at coffee hour or online for community time following the service. If you are new with us or just want to start a conversation, please pick up a red mug from downstairs. It's a signal to our community that you'd welcome a friendly hello. Our mission is to build community, search for meaning, deepen our spirituality, and make a better world. If you have questions about First Parish or Unitarian Universalism, someone from our membership team will be at the welcoming table during coffee hour to greet you and answer any questions. Reverend Lisa is also available after the service and would love to meet you. A big thanks to all our service participants whose names are in the order of service. And please remember to silence your cell phones for our time together. Please join me in taking a moment to say hello to one another. Including a wave to those online. We will now have a brief announcement from Laurel Whitehouse.
You may have noticed that there is no title for this announcement in the order of service. That's because it's a secret. So I'm going to give Reverend Lisa some earmuffs so she can hear. All right, we are gathering contributions for a farewell book for Reverend Lisa. So downstairs in the vestry, there will be this basket with pretty pieces of paper and pens for you to write a brief note. Then you put it in this top secret box, which will be right next to the basket. There are 3 ways you can contribute. You could email, and there will be the email address downstairs for this. It's a special email. You could send a card of your own choosing to the office, or you can just fill out one of these and put it in the green box. So please contribute. And committees, we also would love to hear from various committees about working with Reverend Lisa. So thank you.
All clear. A heartfelt welcome to all. Let us now turn our hearts and minds to worship. Pat and Keith Sims will now light our chalice.
Let's say our covenant together. With open minds and loving hearts, we gather to search for meaning, to care for one another, and to work together for a better world.
So we have a special treat this morning. The choir is about to sing this beautiful universal blessing by Alice Parker. You'll find it in your order of service. If you didn't get one, wave your hand and one of the ushers will bring you one, because they're going to sing it through once, and then we're invited to join them in singing with it the second time through. You can stay seated, but we're going to join them. So look for the words and music, and choir, please lead us. That was beautiful. Thank you, choir. Thank you, everyone. So good morning. I'm Reverend Lisa Perrywood. I'm the interim minister here at First Parish in Wayland. My pronouns are she and her. Today is Mother's Day, and it's important to acknowledge that it is a complicated day for many of us. Some of us were lucky enough to have loving, attentive mothers, but not everyone's mother was up to the task. Some of us have enjoyed being mothers ourselves. Others struggled to become mothers, chose not to, or were unable to mother. Some fathers, grandparents, and other family members have been placed in the role of mother. It is complicated. Today, we affirm that there are mothers for everything, all kinds of mothers, many ways to mother, and we honor all of those experiences. This is For All the Mothers by Linda Susan Ulrich. For all the mothers and mother figures, the grandmothers, aunts, and extended family members who mother, the soon-to-be mothers, the wish they were mothers, the never wanted to be mothers, the it's complicated mothers, the birth mothers, foster mothers, and adoptive mothers, stepmothers, the used-to-be dad mothers, and the more than one mom mothers, the single mothers, separated mothers, stay-at-home mothers, unhoused mothers, the grieving mothers, those who grieve their mothers, and those whose grief is complex. For all the communities that mother, and for all who depend on the great mother, you are held and beloved. Come now, dear friends, into this beloved and sacred space we co-create each week, and let us worship together. And now, please rise, as you are willing or able, and join in singing hymn number 346. It's different from what's in your order of service. 346. It's Come Sing a Song with Me.
Good morning again. I have some news which may surprise you. I am not human. I am an alien, I'm an alien from the light beam galaxy. I don't normally look like this. My real form is a small red speck of light, very red, very small, and very, very fast. The light beam galaxy is far, far away. And I don't usually speak English. I usually speak light beam, which sounds like this. So I came to planet Earth to study this thing you have here called mothering. In order to do that, I had to disguise myself as a human, as an Earthling. You know me as Laurel Whitehouse. So we were happy up there in our light beam galaxy, and then we started hearing about this thing called mothering and began to wonder, could it possibly be true that there are beings on Earth who cook meals for their families every day? And they wash these grubby kids in something called a tub, and they actually change smelly, messy baby diapers? So I was sent to Earth to find out what could possibly be going on here. I disguised myself as an Earthling. I did my best to practice the Earth form of mothering, but of course I made mistakes. At first, I gave my Earth kid mud instead of chocolate pudding because I couldn't tell the difference. Earth kids were always digging in the mud, and I thought it was some kind of food source, and they were smearing it on their elbows and their knees and saving it as a snack in case they got hungry later. I also thought that Earth mothers were some kind of giant hermit crab because they had this hard shell called an SUV that they dragged everywhere they went, taking the kids to school, going to coffee for Starbucks. They went to Zumba class in these things. I also thought Earth mothers had one giant ear, so big they had to hold it on. And then eventually I figured out, oh, they're just using their cell phones. Okay. So it was confusing. I made many mistakes. I made lots of errors, and it was a little obvious sometimes that I didn't really fit in, but gradually I began to learn. It was especially challenging for me because, you see, in the light beam galaxy, we don't have this concept of families. We have planet adult, where all the adults, including myself, live. We have planet teenager, a really scary place that no one ever goes. We have planet kid, where, you guessed it, all the kids live, and planet baby, where our littlest, teeniest light beams wobble around until their beams are strong and steady enough to move up to planet kid. So, you see, we don't have this idea of families. In fact, children don't actually meet their parents until they're teenagers ready to move to planet adult. And at that moment, we have a big beam me up ceremony with shooting stars and meteors, and sometimes the light is so bright you can see it here on Earth. And then, for the first time, the adult parents meet the adult offspring, and the parents say, "Oh, isn't he just a little gleam off the family light beam? You are so wonderful. You're making us very proud." We never questioned our way of living on separate planets, with each age group doing their own thing with others like them, until we started hearing about planet Earth and mothering. And we started wondering what could be going on. So here I am, studying all of you, and I learned a lot of interesting things, such as you don't have to identify as female, a female Earth being, to be mothering. You can have any kind of age, any sort of appearance, and you don't even have to have started in the same family. So lots of ways that people are mothering here. It was hard to come up with any kind of a theory. So I decided to interview some of the kids. And I asked them 4 questions. What's the best thing about your mom? What makes your mom special? What does your mom do to show she loves you? And what does your mom do that really, really drives you crazy? But the answers were useless because they were all the same. The kids said, the best thing about my mom is that she drives me places. My mom is special because she drives me places. My mom shows me she loves me by driving me places, and my mom really, really drives me crazy when she won't drive me places. So what was I supposed to do with data like that? Well, my time on Earth here is coming to an end, so I need to finalize my report for the Life Beam Galaxy. And I need to decide what to put in it. So when I first got here, I thought the thing that defined good mothering on Earth was the size of that SUV and the number of minutes on the calling plan for your monthly cell phone. But gradually, of course, I came to see that those aren't the important things. What defines good mothering on Earth, no matter who's doing the mothering, is the radiance of their smile, the warmth of their hugs, and the love in their heart. That's what I'm going to put in my report, and that is what I will always remember about my time here on Earth. And now, our children and Sikh leaders will go downstairs as we sing.
The offering we give each week is a symbol of our commitment to this faith community and to the life and works of our congregation. Instructions on how to donate online are in the order of service. If you're here for the first time, please let the plate pass you by. You are our guest. Our offering this week is shared with Gifts of Hope Unlimited, a nonprofit organization supporting those impacted by relationship violence with financial assistance, home resources, and community-focused initiatives as a step toward a safe and empowered future. Their website says, "We are a volunteer-led organization which supports our clients by providing access to household goods, clothing, and personal care needs, financial assistance, and educational grants. Together, we create pathways to hope, resilience, and freedom from abuse." We receive your generosity with gratitude and in appreciation of all that sustains us. Your gifts maintain the strength of this community and all it does within these walls, as well as the work we do together to make the world a better place. The offering will now be given and gratefully received.
Good morning. I'm Kathy Schmidt. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a lay minister of this congregation. This is the time in our service we set aside to acknowledge the joys and sorrows that we all hold. In both our sharing and in our witness, we affirm our covenant to care for one another. Each Sunday, we light a vigil candle in recognition of the pain and suffering being experienced around the world. May this small act unite us in prayer for the end to all suffering. If you have a personal joy or sorrow you would like to share, please feel welcome to come forward now or raise your hand and I will bring you the mic. Those online can type your joys or sorrows in the chat and I will read them for you. May we hold in our hearts those who have spoken, those they have named, and those we hold in silence. May it be so.
Please join me in the spirit of prayer. This is That Which Holds All by Nancy Schaefer. Because she wanted everyone to feel included in her prayer, she said right at the beginning several names for the holy. Spirit, she said, Holy One, Mystery, God. But then, thinking these weren't enough ways of addressing that which cannot fully be addressed, she added particularities, saying, Spirit of life, Spirit of love, Ancient Holy One, mystery we will not ever fully know, gracious God, and also Spirit of this earth, God of Sarah, Gaia, Thou. And then, tongue loosened, she fell to naming superlatives as well. Most creative one, greatest source, closest hope. Even though superlatives for the sacred seemed to her probably redundant, but then she couldn't stop. One who made the stars, she said, although she knew technically a number of those present didn't believe the stars had been made by anyone or thing, but just luckily happened. One who is an entire ocean of compassion, she said, and no one laughed. That which has been present since before the beginning, she said, and the room was silent. Then, although she hadn't imagined it this way, others began to offer names. Peace, said one. One my mother knew, said another. Ancestor, said a third. Wind, rain, breath, said one near the back. Refuge, that which holds all. A child said, water. Someone said, Kuan Yin. Then, womb, witness, great kindness, great eagle, eternal stillness. And then there wasn't any need to say the things she thought would be important to say, and everyone sat hushed until someone said, Amen.
Invisible Work by Alison Lutterman. Because no one could ever praise me enough, because I don't mean these poems only, but the unseen, unbelievable effort it takes, the life that goes on between them. I think all the time about invisible work, about the young mother on welfare I interviewed years ago who said, "It's hard. You bring him to the park, run rings around yourself, keeping him safe, cut hot dogs into bite-sized pieces for dinner, and there's no one to say what a good job you're doing. How you were patient and loving for the 1000th time, and even though you had a headache, and I, who am used to feeling sorry for myself because I am lonely, when all the while, as the Chippewa poem says, I am carried by great winds across the sky, thought of the invisible work that stitches up the world day and night, the slow, unglamorous work of healing, the way worms in the garden tunnel ceaselessly so the earth can breathe, and bees ransack this world into being, while owls and poets talk shadows, our loneliest labors under the moon. There are mothers for everything, and the sea is a mother too, whispering and whispering to us long after we have stopped listening. I stopped and let myself lean a moment against the blue shoulder of the air. The work of my heart is the work of the world's heart. There is no other art.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful choir. Thank you so much. Bobby McFerrin, wow. Over 4 years ago in the country of Ukraine, people lived their lives freely, enjoying many of the same benefits of a free society that we had been accustomed to in this country. Suddenly, in February 2022, their country was brutally invaded. Women said goodbye to sons and husbands, leaving to fight an oppressor. Other mothers shielded young children in subway stations and basements or escaped with them to a foreign country for protection. There were also Ukrainian mothers who carried their children to safety across the border, then turned back to join the fighting. And there are similar stories of mothers in Gaza, Sudan, Lebanon, Israel, Iran, and too many more countries, as well as mothers who are war correspondents and government officials. There are always mothers in the middle of a war. There are mothers for everything. If there's one thing to understand about the international refugee crisis, it's this. Approximately 90% of refugees are women and children. In Ukraine, because of military conscription, most men between 18 and 60 have been barred from leaving. Although millions of people have fled the Russian invasion, those who cross the border are women, children, and some elder men. And that has meant devastating separations for families. It also means that any crisis of forced migration is foremost a crisis for women, especially for mothers. Mothers like Lubomira, forced to flee to Poland with her children, including a 3-week-old son born prematurely and suffering from jaundice. Interviewed by the New York Times, she said, her eyes filled with tears, "I don't know what my plans will be. I am just living day to day on the generosity of others." And there's Eliza, who met and fell in love with Igor in Odessa when they were 17. They married when she was pregnant with their son, living happily, saving to buy a house together. When the airstrikes began, she had to make a choice: stay with her husband, her first love, or flee to protect their 4-month-old son. Leaving the train station with her mother and baby, Liza says she cried as she said goodbye to Igor, and she hasn't stopped crying. They're staying with a friend in Germany, but they don't know what the future holds, whether they'll be able to return or if she'll ever see her beloved husband again. An estimated 5.7 million Ukrainian refugees, mostly women and children, are being sheltered in European countries. Mothers who have lugged bags and young ones, often walking miles in freezing temperatures, taken in by other mothers who recognize their plight. And there are mothers who chose to stay and help, like Olena Mokonko, an obstetrician in Chernihiv, who has delivered up to 70 babies a month during the war, often in dangerous conditions. She's helped women give birth in hospital corridors and even in bomb shelters, then hid newborns in basements for days without heat and water. And Olga, a school worker, raising her triplet sons, Vova, Vlad, and Vitalik, throughout the war. Vitalik's mobility and learning challenges have been compounded by air raid alerts disrupting his schooling. Still, Olga and her family adapted, valuing family and community over material possessions, finding strength in small daily moments. Some women, many of them grandmothers too old to fight, stayed behind in Ukraine to help with the war effort, baking energy-rich foods, weaving camouflage nets, cooking dumplings to be transported in sealed packets to the front lines. We can't just sit at home. We need to do something to help, said 52-year-old Olena. There are also mothers who continue to plant crops to feed a nation while their farmer sons and husbands fight on. There are mothers for fleeing to safety, mothers for protecting children, their own and other mothers, mothers for supporting the fighters, for feeding them all, mothers for everything. Here in our own country, women, some of us mothers, are needed to fight too, for freedoms and rights we have counted on for decades. Women and mothers are marching and rallying for the right to freedoms we had come to depend on, to control our own bodies, for our voices to be heard as equals, for neighbors who came here for protection and opportunity. Women and mothers have joined fights against banned books, books that teach truths about the history of racism in this country, and we continue to march and call and write letters to protect voting rights. Like everything else, there are mothers for defending democracy. And there's our Mother Earth, who also needs our protection and care, the mother who gives life and nourishment to us all. I've been inspired by the group Mothers Out Front, which answers the question, why mothers, this way. Mothers Out Front is founded on the conviction that there is no more powerful force for change than women mobilizing to protect their children. We know that when we come together for climate, racial, and social justice, to tell our stories and share our dreams for our children, we cannot fail. There are mothers for love and protection, for gentleness and nurturing, and also mothers for courage, for fierce determination, for taking principled stands. You, women and mothers, have worked tirelessly for women's rights over the past 50 years, at least. It's almost inconceivable now that our denomination was once led solely by male-identified ministers. Now, over 60% of UU clergy identify as female. We as UUs are blessed to be part of a denomination that has led on all issues related to women's rights, from the vote to abortion, to salary equity, and so much more. And let's not forget how Mother's Day actually started in the 1870s, when the sheer enormity of the death caused by the Civil War and the Franco-Prussian War convinced writer and reformer Julia Ward Howe, a UU, that women must take control of politics from the men who had permitted such carnage. Women must have the same rights as men, and they must make their voices heard, said Howe. Mother's Day was not designed to encourage people to be nice to their mothers. It was part of women's effort to gain power, to change society, and it was also a peace movement. I don't think we're getting it back from Hallmark, though. There are mothers fighting for their country and for their own rights, mothers mobilizing for the earth, fighting against poverty, standing up for health care rights, mothers asserting the freedoms of their transgender children to be who they are, mothers for peace and justice, mothers for love and service. There are mothers for everything. Now, there's an old joke in my family that goes like this. A grandmother is walking on the beach with her grandson when suddenly a big wave comes and carries him away. The grandmother looks up and cries out to the heavens, "Please, God, have mercy, I beg you, give me back my little boy." Just then, another wave rushes in and deposits him at her feet. She looks down at the boy and then up toward the heavens again and cries out, "He had a hat!" That cry of outrage, "he had a hat," has become metaphorical in our family for the heady mix of outrage, possessiveness, affection, and disappointment that goes hand in hand with a mother's love. The thing is that a mother's love is not just one thing. It's something like a diamond, not always perfect, but multifaceted, beautiful, and valuable nonetheless. There are mothers who give up their own dreams for us, love us through all of our unlovableness, protect us with their words and acts, soothe our hurts, and listen to our grievances. And there are also mothers who disappoint us, even some who physically or emotionally hurt us, don't stand up for us, or burden us with their own disappointments and grievances. There are many kinds of mothers, fathers or other relatives who play that role, elected, chosen, or foster mothers, family friends who step in as needed, yet somehow, in the midst of all these versions of mom, most of us keep trying to find our way to love and connection with our mothers. It's even said that many children who've been hurt by their mother still want to be with her if given the choice. Not everyone can have the poignant relationship with their mother of the poet Mahmoud Darwish, wishing to be a veil to her eyelashes, wood to feed her fire. But most of us remain hopeful throughout our lives about a mother's love. How does that happen? And how do we measure the power of a mother's love? My own mom became a mom at 21 when I was born. 21. That still shocks me. Though she was not much more than a child herself, she clearly did the best she knew how to do. We were never very close, but one particular incident really stays with me. At 10 years old, I was an avid comic book reader. Now, some of you might remember the ads in the old comic books about the money that kids could make selling products. Mine was Cloverine salve. I ordered 10 small tins to be sold at $2.50 each. The idea was to send the money back to the company and get a now unmemorable, fabulous prize. Simple, right? Except that weeks went by and I had only sold one single tin. My grandmother, always a soft touch, bought one, and that was it. I was feeling pretty desperate when I got an idea. Mom kept a jar in the kitchen cupboard to collect change, the odd dollar bill. It was easy to slip into the kitchen when she was out of the house and empty that temptingly full jar. Well, of course, I was caught very quickly as the oldest and tallest child. Not the best liar, I was easily nailed. But what happened next is what stayed with me. After some yelling and a spanking, yes, even good mothers spanked back then, it was Dr. Spock approved, and both of us crying, she did something I still find amazing. Taking all of the Cloverine salve company information from me, she called them up and blasted them for taking advantage of her innocent child. Then she packed up the remaining tins of salve and sent them back without the money. I'll never forget her outrage at that sales tactic. It's one of the threads of her love I have held onto for years. Yes, moms can be fierce and tireless advocates, even when we might not fully deserve it. Often our first advocates, moms are incredibly strong. Some moms raise themselves in spite of the mothering they got. This whole child-rearing thing is a bit of a mystery. As the renowned scientist Lord Martin Rees said in a Krista Tippett interview, if good parenting were scientific, we wouldn't have new theories every few years on how to do it. The problem is, Rees said, that it's all about a wide variety of human interactions, and they are just not predictable enough. There are just too many variables, too many moving parts. Well, that's for sure. Too many moving parts. Many mothers can relate to that statement. This much I believe. Blaming our mothers, wishing for them to love us in better or different ways just isn't useful for us or for them. In order to move forward, to truly grow up, most of us have to simply love the mother we were given. Unless she was openly abusive, or maybe even if she was, our mother was doing the best she could in each moment, using whatever skills and knowledge she had, honoring our mothers, loving them the best that we can, honors mothers everywhere, our sisters and aunts, wives and daughters, and for some of us, ourselves. All mothers deserve to be held in the light of the love they've given and received. We honor their sacrifices, their fierce advocacy, their nurturing and healing, their compassion, however that might have looked. Let us hold in our hearts today mothers everywhere, here and at home and in other parts of the world. May they be seen and loved and protected. And may our choices and our bodies, the lives and the work of all women and mothers everywhere, be valued and supported every day. May it be so. Amen. And now, please rise as you are willing or able and join in singing hymn number 357, Bright Morning Stars. We're going to sing verses 1 through 3 and 5. It's in the gray hymnal. These are the words of Emily Richards. Our work here today is at an end, and our work has just begun. The work of holding one another and this community in love. The work of trusting that we are on the right path. The work of believing that what connects us is stronger than what separates us. The work of engaging in that which makes us whole. The work of deeper understanding and commitment. The work of letting go of that which does not serve us. The work of radical inclusion. The work of collective liberation. The work of this beloved community, a beloved community of which we are all part. A place where we are welcomed, respected, valued, cherished, a place where we belong. Beloved friends, take all that we have shared here this morning out into the world. Be a blessing to all those you meet, and may you, in turn, be blessed. May it be so. Amen.